Good morning, everybody. It's Barb Pitcock here, and I know you can't believe it. We're finally going live. I have Miss Cindy Pitcock with me, and we have been trying to do this. Gosh, when was your checkup that we had such an amazing report?
End of what is this?
June?
No, end of September
Okay.
was the last one.
No,
around
it's
this-
September right now.
No, then it was August. Sorry. Time flies when
Having fun?
when every day is a treasure. You forget what day it is, but no, it was the very end of August, and it was my last checkup. Yes.
So we have some really good news, and we get inundated with can you do a three-way call, and so this particular live should help all of you, Jennifer, and all of you that keep asking me, can you please help me with this person that has the same situation? So a real quick disclaimer, our products don't cure anything, and we're definitely not making any claims, but I do want Cindy to tell you this amazing news. Some of you are new to Wakaya, and you don't know, it was November the 14th.
Almost 2 years ago. It was the week before Thanksgiving.
The week before
2
Thanksgiving.
years. Yep.
So it will be 2 years this Thanksgiving. But we had a horrible Thanksgiving, and everybody's advice was plan a funeral and pray that she makes it till Christmas. But here she is 2 years later, and I was just going to kind of put the focus on Cindy. We only have a few minutes here, and then she's out the door, and I look like I just came off of a workout because I didn't even get myself ready, but we're taking advantage of this short time. So Cindy had a life-threatening disease, and I have talked to Todd. He says we can't say the life-threatening disease and the product in the same sentence, and here she is. So right away when she got the diagnosis, Cindy let them know that they were wrong, and they didn't know Todd Smith, Blake Graham, or Bill Andreoli. And Dave and I sat there with our mouth open going, Mom, you have 6 weeks to live. Like, quit telling them about people they don't know. But she never wavered. She truly believed in our product line. So, Cindy, from the beginning, what did you take on a daily basis?
On the daily basis, now not everyone will do this, and my diagnosis is different than others, and I know, and everybody's body reacts different, and your mind, I think, is the most important part. I'm so obstinate, sometimes I'm hard to live with. I live with a dog. And but that's not a bad thing, and my belief that I was going to be okay, I just knew it. I was told that, and I stood on it, and I knew it. So, but I did need a lot of help. First, we had to decide what to do. Once we decided that to me was almost the hardest part, was, do you do this therapy? And once we decided, I was done. I was in it for the whole game. But people want to know what I actually took, and you might think I'm insane. I had a lot of advice from Blake, and he guided me a lot in what I took. But on a daily basis, I started with the capsules of turmeric and ginger. Shoot, I was taking so many of them, I couldn't swallow those capsules. So I just got the powder, and I still do that daily. Not as much, but I do it daily. I would dip my little teaspoon in the powder, put it under my tongue, both ginger and turmeric, take a little water and let it sit there a minute, and then I'd swallow it. I did that probably 4 to 6 times a day, morning, lunch, supper, nighttime, and sometimes in between in the beginning, because I was fighting, anything's inflammation and your stomach. When you take chemotherapy, can I say that? It's hard on your stomach. And, Blake, I was taking those. I was taking probably 6 to 8 selenium a day. I was taking our detox, our Kale. I could drink that, believe it or not. I just took, and he wanted me to take the minerals, something about the minerals. I could not, they'd go down, pop right back up. And he said, our wise Blake, he said, dip a teaspoon, put some in a cup, dip a teaspoon, and just put it on your tongue 5, 6, 7 times a day, and it'll go in you, and it won't come back out. And I did that. And so I got my minerals that way, but they wouldn't. Oh, hello! I've got a dog on me. I just strong in ginger and turmeric, strong in the selenium, the kale, lots of water. I tried to eat good food, of course, and then I was hardly into it. Probably after the first dose, and Dave, my researcher Dave, he just said, "Mom, you need to be on CBD." I said, what, CBD? And
And I said, we're not doing marijuana.
I'm probably the one that got him. And honestly, I think it turned it around. All this other was keeping my body strong, keeping me going. You know, I was doing everything I could to pour good stuff in me. And vitamins. I also took vitamins through the middle of this too. But the CBD, I could take it, and you know, it's under the tongue, and you just let it sit in there 30 seconds and swallow it. When we first got it, it was the really not good tasting stuff that we have now. But he said, just do it often, and I would. And honestly, I could do the chemo treatment and feel. The one time she had to help me into the car, and I didn't know. She texted Dave and said, I hope I get her home. And I thought, what? I learned that later. And within 5 minutes of that stuff going in me, my stomach was fine. My energy started coming back. I believe it just boosted my body through this whole thing. I still take it every day. Not as much. I'm not as heavy into all of this, but I will take it all my life. But pretty much I was just, don't think it was a ginger and turmeric, heavy. And I just don't believe you can take too much of it. I don't. And the selenium, minerals if you can get them down, the Kale to detox, lots of water, and CBD drops.
The one other thing I remember, even when I took you to Chicago, she takes an hour in the bathroom at night.
Oh my goodness, forgive me. Oils. That was Blake. That was a lot of Blake and Dave too. Frankincense. I still do it every morning and every night. I put it under the armpits, on your feet, under the armpits gets in. Well, if you have a breast affected by whatever this thing I had, I would put it on it, and up here on your collarbones, I did it both sides, every morning and every night.
We have a pug. Olive is very jealous that Nana Cindy is getting all of the attention.
Yes, I
and
shouldn't.
Olive likes her CBD too. Get down, Olive.
So the oils, yes, and it's very much a part of my ritual. I will do that before I put on makeup in the morning. And I used a lot of frankincense. I learned that I had some trouble with abdominal fluid. We thought the family doctor that diagnosed me just thought my disease we do not talk about was in my stomach. It wasn't. It was just fluid going into the abdominal cavity
about
from
a liter
the breast.
a day sometimes.
Oh God, this body, it's not little, but it normally sits at about 135 pounds. And the biggest I ever got when I was at my doctor's was 168, almost. That's how much fluid was on this body. And my legs were like tree trunks. These people had to just drag me everywhere to keep me alive. And they did. But that's a whole nother story. And I didn't even know that happened. But trust me, it does. And we drained fluid every day for months. And he just said, as the breast gets well, that'll go away. He was exactly right. But so lots of oils. Frankincense I used ginger oil. I still do. Tea tree on anything tea tree's just good for everything. And I would put that on my feet. I used some cinnamon. What else do I use? Frankincense.
You put the cream. I remember you putting the cream on the breast.
The cream is my carrier oil. The pain cream. I would put it. I didn't use a carrier oil. I put it wherever I was going to put the oils, and I still do. Under the arms, on the breast, on just anywhere. If you have a bad knee, put it on there. Add some tea tree to it, or frankincense, and on my feet always. Just oiled up my feet and. Use the pain cream first, and then the oils that I use. Frankincense heavy. I use ginger. I use some tea tree anywhere there was. For relaxation, I would rub the cream on the back of my neck, and I used peppermint and lavender. If you do that before you go to bed, besides I've heard that spiders hate peppermint. I hate spiders. Peppermint on the neck, no spiders come near me in bed. That's a Cindy theorem. No, it's true.
You're a hoot.
But I still do that on the back of my neck every night, just before I go to bed, and I do my oil treatment before I go to bed, first thing in the morning, and I just go all day like a little tractor, and all clear into the night. My energy's back, my health is back, my cancer, the antigens, the blood work that we do is totally down. He just has high-fived and hugged me and Barb and Dave through this whole thing. He just shakes his head. He knows I'm on the CBD, and he tells me that, it'll help with digestion and everything else. It won't cure the other. And I thought, well, you believe what you believe, and I'm going to believe what I believe. I didn't believe my family doctor when she said, put everything in Dave's name and plan a funeral. I thought, are you kidding? That isn't happening. So
Let me tell you, she waited until we got off of our 9-month gone every night of the week meeting run.
You were in
we were in
Arkansas.
Arkansas doing a meeting for some people, and she knew for several days before she would not tell us anything negative. Even though they told her she only had a few weeks to live, she waited till we were done with our speaking to her. And she's just a trooper. But the one thing I would say, I remember draining the fluid before we had CBD. I remember you switched your regimen a little bit.
Yeah.
We would get about a liter a day. And she couldn't make it a week to get to the hospital to have that. They can only do the procedure once a week. And by the week, she would be so full of fluid, it would take a wheelchair to get her in the hospital. And so finally we said, we'll do this at home. And the people said, oh, we don't really recommend that. We put a catheter in and drained every day, a liter.
they put it's called a Purex catheter, and it's just under your abdominal wall. And it really, they did it local, it just shot, and it wasn't bad. And then we could do it at home, and oh, what a relief. And the maximum you could fill out was like 1,000, I don't know if they're liters, not liters, milliliters, whatever. But, and the first time it was under 1,000, we looked at each other and thought, oh, I knew I was getting better, and pretty soon there was none. Not pretty soon, it was months. But the fluid stopped, breast was well, cancer, the antigens, the blood work went down. My oncologist is a hematologist. He reads blood. It's all blood. And he just was amazed at how well I kept getting. He knew I told him, I was on the ginger, the turmeric. He thought all of that was wonderful. He's not one of those that, you shouldn't take anything. No, he wanted me to do his stuff, but he also wanted, he didn't care about the other things. And he could believe he's making me well. I kind of believed what we were doing. And
and a lot of prayer.
A lot of prayer. Much of mine was faith healing. Some of you have asked which scripture. This little book I've had for, 25, 30 years, and it's called Touch Points. And you can just pick a subject. It will take you to, my one for fear, and everybody I think knows this, and it's Isaiah 41:10. And it says, don't be afraid, for I'm with you. Don't be dismayed, for I'm your God. I will help you. I will strengthen you. I will uphold you with my victorious right hand. Every night I might have tree trunk legs. I'd be laying there dead. I'd read that, my arm would shoot. I think God laughed. I think I made him. That arm would shoot out, and all you have to do is have no doubt and absolutely believe it. And I just sold out to it. And I just knew so many people were helping me, praying for me, and I just had no question that I was going to be fine. And will this work for anybody and everybody? I don't know. But so many have wanted, they keep calling Barb. But this truly, was there anything else? I don't think
so. I know, so we can put in the notes kind of exactly what she took, and I'll tag Cindy in the message. You can message her. You can't go share with your friends that Cindy Pitcock had cancer markers of 1,500 and August 25th they were 0. But we can tell you the products didn't cure anything. Maybe it was the power of prayer, but I will promise you, we never dreamt that this lady would live to see little baby Lola be born. She was diagnosed in November. Chance and Daisy told us they were pregnant. Oh, baby Lola just tuned in.
Baby Lola.
But you said at Christmas, you said, I'm going to see this grandbaby.
Great-grandbaby.
Yes, great-grandbaby.
Great-grandma.
So I said at Easter, you guys need to get home. She was down to 100 pounds. Then she lost her eyesight in the middle of this.
Oh, yeah. One eye decided to... we're working on it. That's where I have to go now. I got to see the eye doctor.
And then on top of that, I'm telling you, just one thing after another with this lady. So she has this eye that goes bad, and she goes blind in this eye, and I'm saying, can you imagine you have all this going on and then you can't see? And would you believe she got an abscessed tooth? And the doctor said, you need a root canal so bad, but we can't do anything until after your treatments. What did you use on your root canal? You didn't get a root canal for months.
No, they did what was called a pulpectomy, and I said, we'll go out as far as we can. I used a pain cream. Don't be afraid. I would put it on the inside where the abscess was, and I would put it on the outside of my face. And honestly, it didn't hurt after I started doing that. Don't be afraid to use our products. I
She put them everywhere.
Okay, if they said you're going to die, I thought, well, what can I possibly do that would be bad? I mean, if they're our products, it's going to be good. And honestly, I am just a total product of the product, and of faith, and of prayer, and I have so many to thank out there. I think I had prayer people with me. I bless them every night because I know much of that was it. It was that and just my absolute belief, total 100% belief that I was going to be fine. I scared the heck out of my family. I know I did, and you don't mean to, but you just do. But I'm good. I'm really, really good. Will I be forever? None of us will be forever. I'll be fine. I just know it's so fun to start my mower and mow my grass. It's so fun to just be able to do everything that for a year I was stymied. And I'm not a stymie girl. I like to do stuff, and I can. And that is just, I have all this time to share, and baby Lola is the most perfect great grandbaby in the world. She's precious. And I just am absolutely loving my life with Dave, Barb, my grandchildren, my great-grandchild, and my sisters. We are just blessed that I am here. And so if we think of anything else, we'll put it in notes. But honestly, everybody wants to know it wasn't a hard regimen. It's everything we have at our fingertips. You might have to search for selenium, but get good stuff. Don't waste your money on bad stuff. And it's good to put in you. And I just am grateful. I'm just a grateful person and happy pretty much every day.
Oh, you know what we forgot?
What?
You didn't have any energy.
Oh, burn caps. Oh my gosh.
This woman is burn, baby, burn girl.
I didn't need to lose the weight anymore. I had been very, very keto. Before I went into this, I'd lost like 70 pounds doing our keto. It was wonderful. And it's pretty much stayed off. And I always took the burn caps in a shake. I could not keep the shake down during this. Anything milky, milk, cream, ice cream, wouldn't compute with me. I just couldn't do any of that stuff. And tea. I am a teaaholic. I love tea. Couldn't drink tea during this time. Just some things my body just thought, nope, we're not doing that. And but I could take the burn caps. Every morning I took my 2 burn caps. Still do. And I swear they give me the most amazing energy that I could keep going. Good.
Yeah,
So
we almost forgot that.
that's why I have her. She's part of my memory, but no. And I should have written all this down. This was impromptu. I was on my way out the door, and she said,
Every
"Let's
day
do
we
this."
promise we're going to do it, and then we don't have any time. Or I look like
And
this, but I don't really care what
and
I
I've
look
probably
like. It's
gotta
not
get-
about
I'm
me.
gonna be late,
It's all
but-
about her.
I'm happy to talk to anybody. I answer good to texts or emails, and just if there's somebody that's really in need, and I've talked to a lot of people, and when I was praying and was told, Cindy, you will be fine, you have a lot of work to do, listen. Those were my messages I got before they got home. And a lot of work to do, I think, is just helping other people. If I can get somebody through this like I was, and the listen was because I'm a very bullheaded person, as I said, and sometimes you need a knips. I don't know if you know what a knips is, but if you were raised by a German father, you do.
Or my kids.
Yeah. And I think God was just telling me to pay attention to what I'm telling you, and I'll lead you. And He did. Everywhere I went, we had made up our mind to do other things, and everywhere I went, you know, it's just like a whisper. And you know what you should do. And I wish I could give that to everybody on this earth, and we'd be much better than we are now. But anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
So 0 cancer markers. He said they can't get any better because there are none.
He said if I tested another person sitting right beside you, they'd be the same as theirs.
So some days she literally has more energy than us. And I told Dave, we're approaching that 50-year mark, and some days everything hurts, and here she is running around, nothing hurts. I think we need to put more turmeric and ginger under our tongue. So anyway, she's going to be late to her appointment, but we've been promising we would do this. There's never a good time. We're always crazy busy, and I never look video ready, but what you see is what you get, and Cindy Pitcock is off to see how her eye is.
I'm off to see what we need to do it's better. It's just, I have to wear glasses, and it bugs the heck out of me, but minor. I can do it.
You guys have a great day.